99.9% of us are never going to kill anyone.
Well, let me make a couple of points. First of all, thanks to your husband for his service, and thank you for your service, because extraordinary heroism that he and your family have shown in protecting all of us, and I'm very grateful for that. Number two, what you said about murder rates and violent crime generally is something that we don't celebrate enough. The fact of the matter is that violent crime has been steadily declining.
Why do we need
for
gun
a
laws?
long time.
Huh? Why do we got to make it worse?
You wouldn't always know it by watching television.
Because you're a scam artist
But
and you're trying to take
overall,
our guns.
Most cities are much safer than they were 10 years ago.
Then why do we need new
or
gun
20 years
laws?
ago.
Huh? Why?
I challenge the notion that the reason for that is
If you
because
treat
there's
us like
more of a-
regular
because
citizens,
if you look at where are the areas with the highest gun ownership, those are the places in some cases where the crime rate hasn't dropped down that much, and the places where there's pretty stiff restrictions on gun ownership, in some of those places the crimes drop really quickly. So I'm not sure that there's a one-to-one correlation there. But I think the most important point I want to make is that you will be able to purchase a firearm. Some criminals will get their hands on firearms even if there's a background check. Somebody may lie on a form. Somebody will intend to commit a crime, but they don't have a record that shows up on the background check system. But in the same way that we don't eliminate all traffic accidents, but over the course of 20 years, traffic accidents get lower. There's still tragedies, there's still drunk drivers, there's still people who don't wear their seatbelts, but over time, that violence was reduced, and so families are spared.
because of
That's
education.
the same thing that we can do with gun ownership. There is a way for us to set up a system where you, a responsible gun owner, who I'm assuming, given your husband, your family, is a much better marksman than I am, can have a firearm to protect yourself, but where it is much harder for somebody to fill up a car with guns and sell them to 13-year-old kids on the streets. And that is, I think, what we're trying to do. What we're also trying to do is make the database more effective.
Yeah.
So that's part of the proposal, which, by the way, will
Tracking.
convenience you when you go to the store, because if we can set up a 24/7 background check system, then that means that
The
it's
world
not likely that
order
things
is on
slip
its
through
way.
the cracks, or it's more
New
difficult
world
for you
order.
to get your background check completed. And we're also trying to close a loophole that has been developing over the last decade, where now people are using cutout trusts and shell corporations to purchase the most dangerous weapons. Sawed-off shotguns, automatic weapons, silencers, and don't have to go through background checks at all. And we don't know whether, are these sales going to drug traffickers? Are they? We don't know who's purchasing them right now. And so what we're saying is, you know what? That is something that we got to do something about. The same thing is true with internet sales, where one study has shown that 1 out of 30 persons who are purchasing weapons over the internet turn out to have a felony record. And that's not something you want to see.
I think one question a lot of people have about you is,
That's on gun control, guys.